It's the advent of Cyber 2023, and we are on a mission to save Christmas. McGreedy, you are going down. I have the THM Army with me. Let's go. Yeah. I'm a pop a shell, but not what you think. Who am I root? Make it dead a leg sink. We are on a mission, we're here to save Christmas. McGreedy's going down, forget about the riches. Rumors gone around, like Skitty's got snitches. It's an insider threat, and everyone's suspicious. Recon McRed is hunting down a witness. He says he needs our help, so power on your system. Get your black hoodie, boot up the attack box. Hackers come together and take command of the SOC. It's the THM Army. McGreedy will get caught from the 0x1 all the way up to the gods. And we are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my live stream. My name is Tyler Ramsbey. We are on a mission to save Christmas. And hey, if you're new here, we are almost to the end of Advent of Cyber, which is crazy. I have live streamed now 21 days in a row as we work our way through each one of these challenges. And look, guys, McGreedy, I think, tried to poison me. It's kind of ironic that today's task is about Yule be poisoned, a pipeline of insecure code. Guys, I got like super sick last night out of nowhere, like chills for much of the night. Ended up starting my workday late just because I felt so sick, like nauseous, dizzy, lightheaded. It was brutal. I'm still not feeling that great. So if it feels like I'm not all the way here when we're reading stuff, or I'm missing more obvious things than I usually do, it's because I am like halfway sick. But I also recognize Christmas is not going to save itself, and I'm not going to break my like 20-day streaming streak just because I don't feel good. Now, one quick announcement on this though. Today is day 21. Super excited to share with you guys that day 22 and day 23, I did the official walkthroughs for both of those days. So actually, I will not be live streaming the next 2 days because once again, the official walkthroughs are done by me. So if you go to my YouTube page tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, that is when they release each day. That's when TryHackMe asked me to release them. So around that time, you will see the walkthroughs for those on my YouTube page, as well as on TryHackMe's Advent of Cyber page. You should see my big video at the top and should see the full walkthrough. But I'm not giving up. I'm going to stream today, and then we'll have my official walkthroughs for day 22 and day 23, and then I will stream live again on day 24, and we will finish out Advent of Cyber. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and see what we can learn today. Day 21, you will be poisoned, a pipeline of insecure code. So one of the main reasons for acquiring Antarctic crafts was for their crafty automation and gift giving, wrapping, and crafting. After securing their automation, they discovered other parts of their CI/CD environment that are used to build and extend their pipeline. An attacker can abuse these build systems to indirectly poison the previously secured pipeline. All right, so what are our learning objectives? So understand how a larger CI/CD environment operates. Remember, we messed with this a little bit yesterday with GitLab. 2, explore indirect poison pipeline execution or personal protective equipment and how it can be used to exploit Git, and apply CI/CD exploitation knowledge to the larger CI/CD environment. So I already booted up my attack box and the machine. So if you haven't done that, make sure you get it done. Here's my attack box. So the CI/CD environment. Often developers or other end users only see a limited portion of the CI/CD pipeline. Developers interact with Git on a daily basis, so it makes sense that CI/CD is most commonly associated with Git, although it only makes up a quarter of a typical CI/CD pipeline. The diagram below visualizes the general segments of a pipeline: development, build, testing, and deployment. While these segments can be expanded and interchanged, all pipelines will follow a similar order. So we see this continual integration, development, build, testing, and continual deployment, which of course is deploy, and then we're always monitoring it. In the previous task, we looked at a CI/CD environment that was self-contained in Git. In a more formal environment, segments of the pipeline may be separated out onto different platforms. Below is the CI/CD environment we'll be exploring in this room. You will notice the addition of Jenkins, a build platform and automation server. In the next section, we will explore Jenkins and discuss how these components interact and contribute to the pipeline. So automation platforms. Jenkins, along with many other applications, handles a pipeline's build segment. These platforms can be remote or local. For example, Travis CI is a remote build platform, whereas Jenkins is a local automation server. These platforms rely on runners or agents to build a project on a pre-configured VM. One advantage of some automation platforms is they can automatically create and configure build environments on demand. This allows building and testing in different environments without manual configuration or administration. So, indirect poison pipeline execution. Well, let's briefly shift our focus back to the development stage. In the previous task, poison pipeline execution was introduced, wherein an attacker has direct write access to a repository pipeline. If an attacker doesn't have direct write access to a main protected or branch protected repository, for example, it's possible they have write access to other repositories that could indirectly modify the behavior of the pipeline execution, hence the indirect poison pipeline. If an environment is employing a development pipeline, a configuration file must be defined for the steps the build system must take. If a repository contains all the necessary source and build files, and another repository contains the pipeline files, write permissions could differ between the two, resulting in indirect PPE vulnerability. In this example, you can assume that the repository containing the source is not write protected, and the repository containing the pipeline is write protected. Let me read that again. You can assume that the repository containing the source is not, but containing the pipeline is. Okay, gotcha. So we're going to be messing with the source, it seems like. To exploit this vulnerability, an attacker may need to identify a file or other parameter they can arbitrarily change that the pipeline file will use. So it kind of reminds me, there is a room on TryHackMe. I'm trying to think of what it is, but it's about supply chain attacks. And we actually modify I believe the scenario is the organization was storing a script in an S3 bucket, but they allowed it to expire. So we took over the S3 bucket and hosted a malicious script, and then we were able to like modify or steal credentials. Like, it's kind of what this reminds me of. Make files and other build files are usually exploitable because they are used to build the source and can run any arbitrary commands as defined in the make file. Below is an example of this, what this might look like in a pipeline file. So we have our stage make, steps, build, and then these are just our steps for building. To weaponize this, the CI/CD environment as a whole must be taken into consideration. For example, if a build server is used to build artifacts in a pre-configuration virtual machine, an attacker could run arbitrary commands in the environment. All right, so let's practice what we have learned. So navigate to this, which I don't know why I did it there. Once again, because I'm only half alive today. Let's go to our attack box and do it there. Yeah, thank you, Justin. Appreciate the kind words, my friend, over on YouTube. Okay. Sign in. Guest password 123. So we see gift wrapper pipeline and gift wrapper. Yep, navigate to that, the Jenkins platform. Log in using credentials admin. If I could type admin, that'd be a good starting point. All right, there we go. We got Jenkins pulled up. Gift wrapper build. Yep, I see it right there. Before looking at the environment's other components, let's dig deeper into the Git repositories. Looking at the gift wrapper, let's actually just do it ourselves. I tend to retain it better if I do it and then go back and look at the task. So we have a Jenkins file here in the gift wrapper pipeline. And we have stages prepare. What are we doing? We're doing git for this gift wrapper.git right there. So a git request. And then we have some build instructions there. Let's go back and make Honeybell. And now gift wrapper itself. This is Python software to easily build gift-based question banks in Moodle. What? Oh, I gotcha. All right, so if we look at some of these files, like our parameters, public key, hydro. Okay. This is like a real script, it would appear. And so gift wrapper dot, this is gift wrapper dot get. I got you. So if we go back to make Honeybell and we look at the pipeline, that's the file that we're pulling down. All right. Looking at the gift wrapper pipeline repository, you may notice a Jenkins file, which we did. If a repository is unprotected, an attacker can modify a pipeline file to execute commands on the build system. For example, an attacker can control the build stage by modifying the make true to who am I. This is possible because a Jenkins file allows you to run shell commands, as you can see on line 13. This is an example of PPE as covered in the previous task. To modify the Jenkins file, we will use the power of Git. To begin working with the repository, a local copy must be created or cloned from the remote repository. In this example, git-tia. Run the following, git-t, I think is actually what it is. Run the command below to clone that, which if you are doing CTFs, you're constantly cloning stuff for different exploits, so this shouldn't be too unfamiliar for you. I'll zoom in so y'all can see it a little bit better. What do we have here? Okay. And there it is. Once cloned, we can make any changes we wish, then commit the changes. To start, we can exploit it by changing line 13 from that to who am I. When a commit is created, a snapshot of the current state of the project is saved, blah, blah. All right. We're just changing that to who am I, right? Yeah. We could also get a reverse shell. I wonder if they're going to let us do a reverse shell. If not, I'll just do it myself when we're done with the task. Or at least attempt it myself in my altered state of sickness. See if I can think through it good enough. And now we're going to go ahead and add it. Okay, I think this is standard message. And that's the username guest, right? Okay. Maybe that's supposed to happen? Yeah, it's me. Okay, so it's just showing us that, hey, we can't actually do this. It's protected. But if we can't modify that file, we know that what this does is make a GET request for that, so maybe we can modify that file, I'm guessing. You can also try creating a new branch, but that's protected too. This means we must find another way. Looking at how the Jenkins files works, you may notice that it uses make. If you recall from the previous section, a make file can be used to define a set of rules to execute steps, such as commands. The make file is defined in the gift wrapper repository, meaning it could have different protections in the pipeline repository, and an attacker could add malicious commands to it. After also cloning and attempting to push changes to the gift wrapper repository, we see that our commit is successful. Depending on the configuration of the build system, different actions may initiate a new build. In this example, we have access to Jenkins, so a build can be manually scheduled by pressing the green play button. Am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to make changes to that? Let me go see if I can even find the right file. Make file, I think is what it's called, this one right here. So it's saying we might be able to make changes to this. Yeah, so I'm able to make changes to that, I think is what it's saying. Alright, like I was able to make changes directly to that. I didn't have to even get it approved, from what I can see. I don't know if that's going to break anything, so I'm going to go ahead and fix it back. But just wanted to make sure I was understanding what it was talking about. can check the status. So we're supposed to change it and then push it with Jenkins. We can check the status and output of the build from Jenkins by navigating to that with the project gift wrapper build under the gift wrapper pipeline repository under the main branch name. If successfully executed, the command we poison should appear in the make stage logs. What? So I think we need to change that one command to who am I, maybe? Let's go through the questions and we'll figure it out. What Linux kernel version is the Jenkins node? Bruh, I don't know. We probably have to. We see that our commit is successful. Manually scheduled by pressing the green play button. So we make... Okay. I'm confused, but it once again might just be because I'm sick. I think I need to make the changes to this make file and add build instructions, right? So if I look at can I just change it to sh who am I? Merry Christmas, Cyber Newbie. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Right, like that? Okay. So that successfully updated. Now if I go over to Jenkins, we're doing within the project gift wrapper build. Should appear in the make stage logs. The make, what are they on there? Main number 2. How long does it take to run? Build now done. Where the frick, where's this log at? Console output? I see changes here. Guys, am I blind? What obvious thing am I missing here? What? Dashboard, gift wrapper build, gift wrapper pipeline main. Number 2. Where they getting number 2 at, bruh? Oh wait, no, I think I just saw it. This. Is this it? Can't open who am I? What the frick? How are you supposed to do this? It took my command there. Oh man, I do not feel good enough to be screwing with this. I'm gonna have to watch the official walkthrough while I'm streaming to figure out what the frick I'm supposed to do. I really don't understand this task. It talks about this whole thing. You can modify the build stage, but we can't modify that file. The frick is it talking about? Justin said, no, I thought this one was a little vague in the explanation, but I think we may need to clone the gift wrapper repo locally and then make changes. I'm so confused. I mean, me cloning it locally is the same as editing this. I just don't quite understand the build syntax here. The frick. What? Alright, I think this TryHackMe room needs to do a better job of explaining what the frick we're supposed to do. Or it's because I'm sick, but I'm really confused on what the heck we're supposed to be doing on this one. I don't think it does a very good job explaining it. And now I broke that stupid freaking file anyways. Maybe I should have just taken tonight off. Shoot. So what is it? I just want to see what it does normally. Maybe I need to modify this file. Okay. What if I modify this file? Is my question, because we know it's running this file. So what if this just looks like shell commands. What if I do who am I right there? And now what if I run it? That makes sense. That makes more sense in my head. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Hey, I did it. Bruh. I figured it out. I got who am I executed. Okay. YOLO. Let's just get a freaking... Yeah, I got it. I mean, I figured it out. That's what you had to do. I just needed to slow down and look at that a little more. Like, it was using that file, so I needed to modify that file. I changed that to who am I, and now whatever that file executes, it will do. So now if we do like bash reverse shell, I should be able to get a full reverse shell to the machine. Sorry, my brain's not working fully this evening. What up, overgrown carrot? Going well, my friend. Except for I am sick, but I didn't want to not stream because Christmas isn't going to save itself. So I'm still here. My brain is not working fully today. So I don't even know if you're supposed to do this for the room, but I think it's going to make the questions easier and it's cooler. We're going to get a reverse shell on this beast. Now if we go back over to Jenkins, build now. Haha, I got a reverse shell. Gosh, I'm elite hacker now. Nope, not zoom out. I want to zoom in. All right, let's look at the task. Like, what was I even supposed to do? Maybe not get a reverse shell, but what Linux version is in the Jenkins node? What kind of answers is it looking for here? So looking for this. What value is that? So I'm guessing the way the room wants you to do this is like use the command injection to read it. But hey, it's a lot cooler if you get a reverse shell and do it that way, in my humble opinion. What were the hints? Oh yeah, okay, that's the command I used. Okay. Yeah, well, we did a reverse shell. That makes it a lot cooler, in my opinion. Complete. All right, what time is it? 30 minutes. Cool. Didn't take too long. And hey, we finished it. So we are done with day 21. And we did it by spawning a reverse shell using the Jenkins and indirect poisoning stuff. So actually really cool. The room was a little confusing to follow just because it doesn't explain very clearly what to do, but in some ways that's good because it makes you think through it. If I was feeling better, I think I probably would have picked up on that right away, but it just took me a little bit longer, and I realized, oh, I'm supposed to edit that shell script in the make file, not the make file itself, and we were able to get a full reverse shell, do the enumeration on the machine, and boom, we have the information that we need to complete the task. Now, just want to remind all of you, Tomorrow and the day after that, I will not be live streaming because I am doing the official walkthroughs for TryHackMe. I already recorded those. Those are ready on YouTube. They will be released tomorrow. And then if you go to the Advent of Cyber page, you'll also see me up here, right? So make sure you watch it. It, of course, begins with the Papa Shell rap song. So I think you'll enjoy that. But remember, the next 2 days, not live streaming. Instead, I'm doing the official walkthrough so you can find it. And I'll be back to live streaming day 24 as the final day of Advent of Cyber. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Hope you learned something through the process. Hope you thought the reverse shell was cool, something along those lines. But thank you again for being here, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.